Hi. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
As you can tell, I'm doing my best Bill Murray in Life Aquatic impression.
Oh, right.
It's come to
What?
this. It's come to this that I'm wearing a beanie with a beard.
Pardon me.
See?
That's why I have this on.
For your sniffles?
Do you know who this is?
Is it Keith Harding? No, it's Goo Goo Moo Boo. It's Moo
It's
Moo
not Keith Harding.
Monkey
It's
Moo
either
Moo.
Keith Haring or Kenny Sharp is who you're thinking of. Keith Haring. It is Bathing Ape.
Oh yeah, they're big.
Yeah, huge.
Oh cool, that's really cool.
First of all, I'm Michelle Fix. I am a comedian, a part-time entertainment industry.
You're not part-time anything. You're all in all the way with everything.
And part-time everything.
Yeah.
And I also have worked in fashion and
Home.
meaning I'm a ceramicist.
Yeah, you really get homesick.
That's right.
I'm Steve Reich. I'm an actor. I also practice law, and sometimes I forget which one I'm doing, which can get confusing for everyone. The other day I had a class with a big casting director, and I was playing a lawyer, and she didn't know I'm actually a lawyer. And she said, that was great, but I need you to be less of a lawyer. And I'm thinking, that's going to be very difficult.
Not possible. Not at this point.
The meta that she's unaware of that's happening right now is thick.
This reminds me actually of the other guys, Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg. Hilarious. Michael
Great
Keaton's
movie.
in it.
Not know why it reminds you of that.
Oh, because Michael Keaton is the police chief, and he's working also at Bed Bath & Beyond. So when he's at Bed Bath & Beyond, he's like, oh, that's right. Also remember, there's a serial rapist out in Crown Heights. And he's like, oh, wait, that's my other job.
That is funny.
It's super
It's hard to
funny.
turn one off for the other. But I'll tell you what, though, if it was a legal argument that I was making before that judge and not a scene from a TV show that shot in 1994, I might have won it.
Awesome.
I might have won it. Anyway, so that was a learning experience, which I'm fully tired of. No more learning for this guy. I'm looking for pure validation and work.
In the form of likes and the IMDb star meter.
In the form of likes and empty applause and smoke up my ass.
That's right.
People are like, I don't want people blowing smoke up my ass. I'm like, I'll take some of that.
Exactly. Just a little bit. Just a little.
Bring it over. Anyway,
what I was saying is I did get you another gift. I used to actually inadvertently triple up on my Mother's Day gifts because I would forget that I bought one the year before and put it underneath like a sofa.
Yeah.
To have my dad take it out. And then I would panic. And then I would mail one super early. And then I would panic and forget those two. And then I'd send a third.
Yeah. And also when you're in like multiple industries like we are, we have a lot of like professional contacts. So I just have a gift box, literally. And it's like just stashed full of knickknacks.
I do too.
I always end up buying new ones each year.
Oh yeah. I always have gifts at the ready. And now my gifts to give out at the ready probably is about 70 gifts. And now because of the pandemic and whatever, I'm like, I don't have people to give the gifts to. And also, I've given a lot of people the same gift. I've already given gifts because I'll buy like 10 of one thing.
Yep.
And I'm like, I can't give those out now. Because
it's just like I have like 8 Lexuses sitting in my driveway.
Lexuses.
All the bows. One of the bows are fraying. It's embarrassing.
Oh my gosh. It's
literally an embarrassment of riches. So, enough of this aimless rambling. We have targeted aimless rambling to do.
We do.
Let's talk about, we haven't been on the air for a while. We had a lovely Thanksgiving together.
This is our holiday show.
It would have been cool to like tape ourselves a little bit hanging out. But anyway, we did. We spent
none of
a
that.
week, but we did not. Maybe some photos.
Not all.
Yeah, what happened there? Anyway,
I don't know. I wasn't thinking.
But we'll just have to take our word for it. We spent a week. You were kind enough to have me up in your country home. It was super fun.
It was super fun.
We did so much. You and I trooped, so to speak, our way up to West Point.
Correct.
And now West Point's all over the news because there's been a massive cheating scandal.
They are.
And I can't help but think that perhaps we had something to do with it.
Well, we did try to get in the back way.
Do you think we're named in the cheating scandal report?
He did have my ID.
Because I'll start and then you're going to fill in the gaps here. We're driving over to West Point and it's you, the Volkswagen, GPS, and me. And besides you, all of those things are useless.
The GPS ended up being useless.
And I am thoroughly useless. So we're trying to find the entrance to West Point, obviously as visitors. And we're like tootling along, and there's a lot of signage that says West Point. So we're like, we're like so excited.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's beautiful because it's gorgeous up there. And we're like tootling along, and I'm looking out the window, and you're, oh yeah, West Point looks good. And we get to like a road that goes up, and it's an entryway with a gate and some guards. And I'm like, I don't think this is the visitor's entrance. And you're like, whatever. And meanwhile, we have all like, for some reason, you had bought like a ton of beer, and it's just like glass bottles like shaking around in the back.
Oh yeah.
So we're like rolling up in our little party wagon. And this like, it wasn't like he had an M16 strapped to his belt, but this guard walked out and was like, can I help you? And we were like, yeah, so
my voice went up 22 octaves. So, excuse me, can I help you?
Yeah, we're trying to go to West Point. And he was like, this is the security entrance. Like we were where Trump's detail would have had to check in.
Where like the military vehicles would enter.
That are delivering
it wasn't just a gated entrance, it was a ginormous fucking gated entrance.
Right. It was almost like we had to go out of our way to get to it.
Yeah.
And like you could see the guys like in the other end, like the other booth, like kind of eyeing us up and down. It's so clear to everybody that we're not where we're supposed to be. And you just put on this like cheery sort of lost tourist voice, which is smart, super calculated. And he ended up just turning us around, but he did take your ID when you had to turn around. Cause I think, the concern is you have your ID, you just drive up and they're left like,
oh yeah. I just try to like take a Volkswagen Beetle and try to Herbie my way through the entrance,
Right. So as we like do a U-turn, like sweating bullets, and you can see the guy like on the other side, like loading up his bazooka. We're like, okay, so he's like, yeah, it's down there by the McDonald's. You can't miss it. It was just amazing. It was so us. It was so us, like trooping around somewhere where we clearly had no place being.
No business being there.
But we got to tour the museum. It was beautiful. And we learned about how George Washington, who was president, by the way, Washington had commissioned, because West Point was a strategic fort holding during the Revolutionary War, he commissioned a steel company or a metal ironworks company to create a giant chain link that went across the Hudson that basically would just stop ships from going farther.
Yep.
And they have a link of it in the museum and on campus.
It was the first velvet rope.
Very good. Yes, and they had a real bitchy woman just standing on a platform being like,
you're not on the list.
Are you on the list? Yeah. Yeah, are you on the list? So anyway, he created the first velvet rope. It was like monstrous though. The one link was like the size of the VW car we were driving.
Oh yeah, and it weighed 150 pounds. Like each link weighed 150 pounds, and it was like.
Oh no. Way more than that.
Was it 1,500?
Yeah, it was like a ton.
Oh, I think you're right. It was 1,500.
It was way bigger than 150 pounds.
No, you're right. It was 1,500 pounds.
I think it might have been, or something like. If that's why you have that number.
I remember a 15 in it. I remember a 1 and a 5.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so they just strung this thing together like talk about a cock block. Like a cock necklace that just went all the way across the Hudson and would just like crush any ship that dared. And then they would have to and when they had to take it out before it froze. It was a whole thing.
Yeah, it was really cool.
How cool. So we learned a lot of cool stuff.
It was so cool.
The museum was dope. So we had a great time. But definitely the funniest thing was you know, putting on that voice when we were like pulling up to the security entrance. So we learned about all the rankings in the Army at West Point. With the first years are called plebes, the second years are yearlings, third years cows, and then firsties.
Yep.
And now it's all in the news, and I'm like, I know all this.
Yeah, knew all about the firsties.
Yeah,
but they're in so
really
much
got in
trouble.
some hot water. There's a couple yearlings involved. So, but I did read that the cheating scandal in question, unfortunately for our narrative, took place in the spring of 2020, right when the pandemic hit and they were going off campus, as opposed to fall of 2020 when we were there.
Oh, when we were there.
I wanted to take some responsibility for it because we were clearly running around inadvertently breaking all the rules.
You could really get up close and personal with a lot of the displays, but they also had disassembled many of them because there were interactive displays where you could like shoot guns and, you know, pull ropes on a pulley and things like that. And all those
blanks, everybody, blanks.
Blanks.
Yeah.
Blanks.
Yeah, no, you could like fire.
So that would have been really fun. Just to like.
Yeah, we didn't have the bayonet training course.
Oh, that would be fun.
This way for trench warfare.
That would be fun.
But we learned a lot. And boy, their whole slogan is, we do not cheat and steal, and we cheat or steal, and we do not tolerate anyone who does. That's a tough, that's a tough code to put up there because not much margin of error on that.
Well, you either cheat or you don't. I mean.
And they did.
And they tolerated. I mean, back in the day,
they were already breaking it by tolerating cheaters, and
you're done. But now there's the debate about should they rehabilitate them, and
actually it was cheat or lie, not even cheat or steal, cheat or lie.
Cheat or lie, yeah.
So they're in the news right now. But again, I think that I thought we'd put them over the edge, but apparently it happened before we got there.
Exactly. Well, we just put a few guards over the edge.
They're still talking about it. So once again, we have, terrorized local institutions with our bumbling.
Yeah, it was fun though.
It was a great time. So that was that. And then we had Thanksgiving.
Wine tasting. We went to a wine tasting.
I mean, we just had like a whole,
it was fun,
like COVID safe kind of adventure in upstate New York. And what was really cool was then we toured around the other towns up there because I'm ignorant of upstate, and we hit Hudson, which is redundant, but actually exists. It's the town of Hudson in the Hudson Valley off the Hudson River, named Hudson.
Check. Yeah, named Hudson.
Which turned out to be Soho, 3 hours north of Soho.
Yeah, Soho on the Hudson.
Where, once again, my least favorite phrase was uttered numerous times. Do you remember what that phrase was?
I'm sorry, we're fully committed.
We're fully committed. Here, we'll play this one out. Hi, table for two. We're just hoping maybe we could get a late bite.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but we're fully committed.
Is that does that mean?
And then it ends.
Fully committed. They're very sorry about it. Fully committed. When did that phrase start happening in the restaurant industry?
I don't know, but it's super patronizing and it's really annoying.
Patronizing, and not in the good way.
No.
I wanted to patronize the restaurant.
Oh no, I'm going to patronize you instead.
It's like something out of Schitt's Creek. We're fully committed.
Exactly. It's like so ridiculous. And then all we wanted to do was like go back and, check out the bar area, knowing that we probably wouldn't be able to get a drink there either. And the guy's like, well, there will be people eating. So.
And I was like, to be expected in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like, COVID capacity. This guy would have been giving us attitude in 1995.
Oh my God, he was
giving us attitude.
He was super annoying.
Oh, so I was like, Michelle, we got to get out of here before I break a window.
Yeah, we did. So we left, but we used the bathrooms first because that's what you do. You drop a deuce.
I did not. I did not lay cable in Hudson. Wow.
But then we had a second storm.
Oof.
And I was in the city yesterday, like a third of my garage, the siding blew off of it and was like, oh, fuck.
You can't get a break.
I know. I'm like.
So we had like hurricane level winds up there?
The winds up here get to like 35, 40, 45 mile an hour gusts because I'm up on a hill.
How was your Christmas?
It was pretty good. It was a little weird, but it was good because our mutual friend Taylor actually came down from Providence, Rhode Island for a Christmas Eve day. We went to brunch at Pastis, which was amazing.
Yeah, that's
gorgeous.
Oh,
wow, gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. And
very SJP of you.
Oh, it was so fun. And then we walked the High Line, which was fantastic.
Right.
And then that night was the horrible storm that ripped all the siding off my garage.
Well, that's what you get.
I know, right?
2020 was like, no.
2020 was like, if you're gonna have if you're gonna have a nice experience on one hand, I'm gonna kick your ass on the other. Boom! Exactly. Oh.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, that's.
No, it was really fun. It was fun.
The biggest news is that you made a public radio appearance.
Oh, I did.
And we're gonna play it. Wow, Michelle, that was amazing. That was so good. Tell us about your NPR appearance.
Well, Steve, it was inspired by the fact that when we were shopping for wine for Thanksgiving, we were looking for wines and they had some really nice wines for like $14, $16, $18. And you were like, you can't get a good wine for less than $25.
You can't do it.
You can't do it. No, you can't. And I was like, yes, you can. The prices, you pay for, if you're going to be in Manhattan, the same wine, it costs like $5 more just because of the real estate. So you pay for place.
My guest is Reich, Food and Wine's executive wine editor. We're talking about pairings. And now let's talk about presents. Let's go to Michelle on line 5. Michelle, what's your question for Reich?
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I was actually shopping over the Thanksgiving holidays for some wines with a friend of mine. And, I will buy wines that are like $12 to $18 a bottle. And, I've always been happy with them. And he said, oh, no, you can't get a good wine unless you go $25 or higher. And I'm just wondering, is that true? And do you have to be in the 25 and higher range?
I'm sure your friend is an excellent human being. I don't agree.
You can get some amazing bottles of wine for under $25 because of the fact that if you're going to buy wines from a premier winery in, say, Napa Valley or Sonoma, where the real estate is really expensive, the competition for those wines is greater. They're gonna get a premium price for them, but that doesn't mean that they are worth that premium. It's just you are paying for labor, you're paying for land, you're paying for
other factors.
Like you can get some amazing Malbecs from Argentina. He actually named 2 or 3 wines in particular that are like $16 or $18 a bottle, which are incredible wines that he recommends.
Well, we're gonna have to try those out.
I know. I was like, well.
Well, that's very cool. I mean, that's very cool. It's a good thing that we've polished you so much to be on the radio. What else you got?
I don't know why I looked out the window, but I looked out the window and I saw this past August or September, one of the pregnant deer had 3 fawns. So she had triplets. And I saw the triplets go racing through the woods behind me, kind of what's left of the woods. It was like 3 little white tails. Boom, 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 boom. So,
I was surprised when I was up there at how many deer you guys have.
It's a lot of deer.
It's a good thing I bought my bow.
That's right. Ty. Exactly. I'm ready. Did someone say venison?
I've been watching all this like reality TV about like folks like making it out in the wilderness because I'm losing it a little bit. So I'm like in that headspace.
How can you be losing it in Boston?
I've been losing it for so hard. I've been losing it since day one. That's all I ever talk about. I'm losing it. It's April 1st.
Well,
I know, but I can't take it anymore.
One thing about Massachusetts. Did you hear about Did you hear about the 2 Thanksgiving celebrations in Lexington that ended up in 700 COVID cases?
Lexington, Kentucky, or Lexington, Massachusetts?
Massachusetts.
Everyone, that's where I'm from originally.
Your old stomping grounds.
Oh, I got it.
2 Thanksgiving celebrations ended up in 700 known positive COVID cases.
Well, they don't call them the Minutemen for nothing.
That's right.
Wow.